hur mår du? And that's all I'm gonna say in Swedish because jag talar inte svenska bra. Why am I bibbling and babbling in Swedish? Well, two reasons. One, I do have a love of most things Swedish. Coming from my other channel, which is a bushcraft channel, I'm not alone in that. And second, because I got a Swedish single malt. This is the Coast Timmer. And I'm excited about it because I've had it for months and I've wanted to talk about it for months. And that's what we're gonna do. So first I'm gonna get it open and then we're gonna talk about it. So, a Swedish whiskey calls for a Swedish knife, which is what I have here. This is the Felkniven F1 in laminated VG10, for anyone who cares about such things. There we go. Just gonna pour myself a wee dram and then we will talk a little bit about stuffs. Get rid of the knife. Come on, fool. There we go. Alright. One thing I do want to point out, I don't know if this is going to show up. See that? 63 degrees north. That is the line of latitude on which the distillery is situated. Nice touch. So, well, hold on. Let me pour and then we'll talk. Nice sound. There we go. All right. So what do I want to say about Coast? They've been in business since about November 2010, if I remember correctly. So they've got 2 pot stills and 3 washbacks. They've got a small distilling crew of I think 3 people. They work 7 days a week. They do peated and unpeated, so they do like 2 batches a day, if I remember correctly. Their unpeated recipe is based sort of on Japanese whiskey, apparently. This is the only Coast I've ever had, so I don't know anything about their unpeated. And up until 2 minutes from now, I'm not going to have known anything about their peated either, but their peated range does take a little bit of inspiration from Islay malts. So there are a few things that I'm wondering going into this. A big one of that is, how does climate affect the maturation process? Because much of Sweden, like where I live, can hit like minus 30 pretty quickly in the winter time. And summers are apparently quite temperate, can be quite warm. So, like in the 20s, I think it might have hit the 30s at some point, but I don't know much about summer in Sweden, except that I would like to go camping there. So I'm wondering how that's going to affect the nose and the flavors and stuff in this bottle. So, you know, what happens in that cask. But in terms of what I kind of know to expect, what are we talking about? 100% peated malt, about 46 ppm, I believe, although I don't think it says on the bottle. We're talking about whiskey that's aged between like 5 and 6 years in first fill ex-bourbon, so I kind of know what to expect from that. A little sweetness, vanilla, a little caramel. Oh, and as for what timmer actually means, it means timber. I think we have let this sit for long enough. I would like to look at it, and then nose it, and then taste it. So, looking for tears. I wonder if I do this over the light, if that's going to make a big difference. What do you guys think? Not a lot of tears. There's some. See? So I'm expecting a slightly oily taste. It's a very nice color. Okay, important knowledge here. This bottle, and it says it right on it, right there, non-chill filter, ting, and no added color. Oh, let's do the checklist, shall we? So what do we got? Okay, it's a single malt. It's a Swedish single malt whiskey, okay? We have non-chill filtering, no caramel coloring, 48% ABV. The only thing we're missing is an age statement, because even though the juice in here is aged between 5 and 6 years in those bourbon barrels, they have elected not to put an age statement on it. It's not really going to bug me. So again, because of the non-chill filtering and the no caramel color, that is a beautiful straw color. I'm just holding it up to the light for you guys. Look at that, huh? Nosing. Ooh. Delightful nose. I'm getting, obviously, the peat smoke. It might be because I'm standing here on a very wet day, because I'm getting rained on, but this smells to me like the smoke is just over the hill. It's coming from just over the hill, or it's down the river, coming across on a rainy day. Very nice. It's still really fresh, grassy. I think that's why I'm thinking like over the hill or down the river or across the lake or something, because there's a grassy green thing happening there. Very outdoorsy, wet, lightly rainy day. There's definitely the sweetness there, the vanilla and stuff that I'm expecting from the bourbon cask. Lemon zest? Or maybe a tropical fruit, maybe a mango? No. See, now that mango thing popped into my head, and I'm wondering if there is a mango note there. Funny how that works, eh? But more of a lemon zest, I think. Something kind of bready. Or maybe like a shortbread. Shall we taste it? Oh. Guys. That is not an Isla peat. Oh, it's not as hot. The peat is there, and there's spice, like a baking spice and everything, but it sits closer to the front of the tongue. Nicely smoky. That's the first thing. Boom! It opens up with the smoke. But I think there's like a barbecue or like maybe a bacon grease. That fruit is there as well. I'm not sure what it is. It's definitely just a hint of lemon further back. Coffee, like I get with a lot of scotches. Let me try that again. Because I'm getting a chocolate thing as well, but I'm not sure. Coffee, brown sugar. No, not cinnamon. Ginger. There's a baking spice there. It's light, but it's nice and adds a bit of warmth. But it's very sprightly. Very sprightly. I mean, look, between 5 and 6 years, we're not talking about like a 20-year-old, oldster, right? I mean, I was expecting a little bit of sprightliness, but wow, it's just nice. It's fresh. I'm nosing again now that I've tasted it. Much of the same, but now sort of the baking aspect comes through a little more. And the fruit, I think there is a mango showing up now. Oh, so nice. As for the finish, you got some toffee and caramel happening there. It's lingering. There's a woody element. I'm taking another sip. Now the oak is coming through stronger. What I'm loving about this is that I'm getting the peat. Okay, I'm not getting a lot of brine. I mean, it's there, but it's not big. Which is, I love brine. But I'm not getting that Band-Aid thing happening. Like on the nose, there's a touch of it, but not on the palate. Not at the neck pour, anyway. And the Band-Aid element is what I don't love about peated whiskeys. Oh, so good. So we shall now destroy it with the water. Just let that sort of sit a bit. With the water, a Band-Aid thing comes out a bit more in the nose. Still a lemon happening, a little less of the spice, but there's a note of pepper there. It's very changed, very different. Now it's very peppery. In fact, pepper is predominant here. There's still a bit of the smoke, still a bit of that citrus zest, but everything else is sort of stepped back a little bit next to the, like a ground black pepper. Is that an improvement? Not really. It's not bad, but it's not an improvement. It's not as good with the water. And interesting, the Band-Aid is on the nose. It's present on the nose. It's not overpowering, but it's present on the nose, but not on the tongue. I very much like this. I'm giving this 8 1/4. Why don't I just move to 100 grade? Anyway, 8 1/4. That is so good. Oh, that is so nice. I've been waiting for this, and I'm not let down. So good. So, thanks for hanging out with me while I reviewed this batch 3 of the High Coast Timmer. As I always say, if you like what I'm doing, then please do the following 3 things. 1, comment down below. What's your favorite High Coast? Is there another one that you think I should pick? Second thing, please share this video. That helps me more than you could possibly imagine. And third, leave me a smiley thumb. If you don't like what I'm doing, that's alright. Leave me a frowny thumb. Thanks for watching, guys.